Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Thursday, May 14th, 2020 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is, in times of change, I ground in to stay balanced. And today we have our last retrograde of the week, which is kind of funny to say, but being that we've had 3 planets go retrograde in a week, it makes sense. So the shift is up, the shift is here. And here we go. We have Jupiter going retrograde. Jupiter is in Capricorn at 27 degrees. It will be retrograding back to 17 degrees. What was the day? I totally just forgot. All the way to September. September 12th is when Jupiter will go direct. The little sigh was because as a Sagittarius, I always feel the Jupiter retrograde so strongly. I try to enjoy myself with it because I realize that the astro is working for us, but it is usually my most challenging retrograde. So Jupiter retrograde is also setting us up for another potent conjunction as Jupiter and Pluto will find themselves conjunct again. And if you remember, Jupiter and Pluto, they were conjunct right before all this craziness in the world started happening. So we have 2 more conjunctions of Pluto and Jupiter. And Pluto being that energy of transformation and Jupiter being like, I'm going to expand whatever it is I touch. We are definitely in a place where there will be more change. So let's dig into our lessons for this Jupiter retrograde. So Jupiter in Capricorn. Capricorn bringing the lessons around structure, around foundations, around authority. That's the thing that I really found coming up as I tuned into these energies of this Jupiter retrograde is we've worked so much, especially with Saturn in Capricorn, on reclaiming our personal authority. And so here we have Jupiter, one of the teachers, going retrograde in Capricorn. So definitely retrograde, reset, return. It's definitely an inward pull, but I feel like this is about returning to your own authority, resetting to a foundational place where it is your authority that you step from. Capricorn energy aligns us with purpose and destiny and our missions. And so Jupiter definitely wants to bring good luck and good things in order for us to connect with that purpose, with that destiny, with that mission. And yet, we can often have so much of the world being like, this is what you should be doing. Capricorn is also the place of the shoulds. This is what you should be doing. Do this thing, do this thing. And so we have an opportunity with this Jupiter reset, this Jupiter retrograde, to turn back in and be like, okay, I've heard the shoulds. The shoulds are loud and clear because they are, right? And yet, this is this deeper calling. And so I'm going to align my integrity. Integrity is another good Capricorn/Jupiter word. I'm going to align my integrity with this foundation, with this truth. Jupiter can be a planet that wants it rules Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is all about truth. So Jupiter can get us into that truth vibe. Now, of course, we want to stay open. With the North Node in Gemini, we want to keep our minds open. And yet, there is an inherent truth, which I would call soul rather than truth, but we're going to use truth for the understanding point of this. This energy that lives within us, this integrity that we do want to come into agreement, we do want to come in alignment with. And so this Jupiter retrograde is like, okay, I'm looking within for the authority. I'm looking within to set my new structures, my new foundations that I'm building for myself. Now, I know this is also something that we're going to be doing in the world, building new foundations, new structures of being and of government, rules, more Capricorn energies. But this to me is like, well, what are your structures? What are your rules? Where does that come in for you? And how do you establish that? Again, going back to the word integrity, it feels very intertwined with this energy. So do be very aware of that through this. Keep bringing it back to your own authority, and keep noticing where you may still dole out that power and give your authority for your life, for your purpose, for your destiny, for your mission that you came for, where you may be still, oh, I'm going to use this word because it's coming up really strong, where you may still be selling out. And no shame in the sellout, because we've had to survive, but the world is changing, and this is the time where we really do want to get in alignment and in integrity with that energy. Now, let me just say, our energy mantra for today, get in balance by grounding in. We have had 3 retrogrades this week, more than 2 planetary shifts, because the moon has also shifted. The moon is actually shifting today as well. All of this takes adjustment. We're just all feeling all of these energies, so do take the time that you need to adjust, ground in, balance these energies. Ground in, connect in, send that root down into the earth to feel yourself supported. So let's look at the other astro today. Like I said, we will have the moon shifting. So we have the moon finishing up in Aquarius. Moon in Aquarius making 2 last connections before the shift. Moon is connecting to Venus. Venus newly retrograde, which I want to talk about some of that, but maybe that's tomorrow's edition of the scope. And we're going to have the sun in Taurus squaring the moon. I'm really feeling that sun square the moon energy because it feels so unstable. There's so much information coming at us right now. That North Node in Gemini, I had the universe, a picture of the universe, just throwing footballs at us, footballs of information. That is the North Node in Gemini currently. So discerning, okay, I can catch this one safely. That one's going to hit my forehead, so I'm going to duck. Really tuning in, getting grounded is more important than making sure that knowing what's going on, because there's too much going on to actually know, and getting grounded will give you actually more information. That moon connecting to Venus piece feels like a worth piece, and again, that feels like it connects in as well, like you're worthy of feeling stable and grounded even through these changing energies. So take time to practice the self-care that you need, loving on yourself. Venus retrograde in Gemini, loving on yourself in order to deal. All right. So Jupiter, I didn't say what time Jupiter is going retrograde. Jupiter is going retrograde at 7:30 a.m. Pacific time. And then we have the moon. The moon is going to be void, of course, through most of the day in that Aquarian energy, which means it's going to be meeting up with that North Node energy. Again, frazzled, electrical, super mental energies. Grounding is your best friend. And then we have void, of course, moon, which can kind of knock us out. It knocks me out personally. So awareness of that. And then we have the moon moving into Pisces. So I wouldn't call Pisces the most grounded energy. Pisces. And that moon in Pisces is meeting up with Mars. We just had Mars move into Pisces. Let me see where Mars is. Mars still hanging out at 0? Mars is moving just beyond 0 today. It's getting past that 0 degree energy to 1 degree. So the moon's going to meeting up with Mars at 1 degree energy. I wish I could say that's going to give you some clear directives, but chances are it's not going to give you anything clear. It may actually heighten the confusion. Again, grounding is going to be your best bet in and through this. Moon and Mars. One thing to notice with Moon and Mars when they come together is the Moon is very emotional, and Mars, it wants the action, and it can get very frustrated. And so the Moon may stir some of that Mars frustration. When Moon and Mars come together, I often talk you may have temper tantrum moments. So do be aware of it and realize what is that root of that temper tantrum. And it may be just that fear and confusion, what's happening? I feel bombarded by these energies. I feel bombarded by the change. I'm not really sure what I'm doing. I'm not really sure what to do. That may be a cue to practice some TLC, practice some more love on yourself, because that can feel very stressful. I also think it's really important not to be impulsive. Do really listen Listen for the information that's coming for you, the intuitive information that's coming through that energy, through that Mars energy. And then we end the day, the sun trine Pluto at the end of the day. Now, trine's a good thing. It is a supportive connection, and yet Pluto brings that transformational energy. It can bring up shadows. It can bring up darkness that we're not necessarily wanting to look at. I would say with this day, be very aware that if you're trying to ground through sensual experience or like eating a lot or anything, I know that's happened a lot during this quarantine. Fear, we're like, oh no, change is coming. It's like it's deep and ingrained in our biology. Change is coming. I better eat so that if we hit famine, then I'm okay. So do realize there is actually a biological connection with this. But just be aware of that overindulgence out of that place of fear that may be coming up. And this is a call. Pluto on the highest level is like, how am I being called to be empowered in this energy? I love this card. This is one of my favorite cards, the Dancing in the Rain card. It's like, it may be raining men, or it may be raining chickens, or cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Like, it's so many layers of things, and yet we're called to celebrate. I love that sign that says, until further notice, celebrate everything. Find the good, find the pleasure, even if it's just in like, oh, the feeling of being held by Mother Earth energy. That is going to support you through these shifts. The good news is that these major shifts, they've happened now. Now, I'm saying that because it hasn't quite happened. So right now we get to adjust because we don't really have anything, we don't really have any more retrogrades, right? Until June, when, you know, eclipses come and that kind of thing. Yeah, no more retrogrades till June when Mercury goes retrograde. So for now, we're good. So for now, balance where these energies are at and realize it's going to be okay. So I think I'm going to leave us with that. Oh, I'm going to show you my final card that I have, the Success card. It's all good. Everything's working out for us. The better it gets, the better it gets. It really is there for us. It's just in these moments, it's like kind of walking on a tightrope, like, how do I feel right now? Okay, woo, there's a breeze, you know. So you are not the only one if you are feeling that. So you can book a reading with me if you would like to dig deeper into these energies. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com for that. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you, and you do have the power. Namaste.